Okay, so I'm playing with Notebook LM and I fed it the entire plain text of my audiobook along with all of the languages and then compiled it with just a customized prompt that said promote my audiobook. Very simple. And then it produced this audio file, which I'll play for you. Hey, thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe.
All right, so you're thinking about bus driving. Well, we're taking a deep dive into this world today. We've got this awesome memoir by a real-life bus driver.
It's a good one.
And the best part,
What's that?
it's a free audiobook. Imagine that. Talk about accessible insights, right?
Got it. NB.
And to help us unpack it all,
Yeah,
we have our expert here
that's me.
who has driven pretty much every type of bus you can think of. From school buses to, well, let's
Yeah.
just say transporting folks to secure locations.
That's one way to put it. I've definitely seen it all.
So this memoir
Yeah.
jumps right in,
Okay.
and you learn that this driver,
Uh-huh.
he didn't exactly dream of driving a bus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he actually wanted to work in a correctional facility,
Interesting.
but there was a hiring freeze. So he had to consider other options,
Makes sense.
almost like the bus chose him, you know?
It's funny how life works out that way, right? I've actually seen that happen a lot.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Many drivers kind of stumble into it. You know, they come from all walks of life,
Right.
find themselves behind the wheel maybe out of necessity,
Uh-huh.
but then they end up loving it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it becomes more than just a job.
You can see that shift in the memoir,
Mm-hmm.
especially when he starts talking about training.
Oh, yeah.
He describes it as intense.
Is.
You've got traffic laws, vehicle inspection, defensive driving,
Uh-huh.
even learning how to handle rowdy kids.
You got to be ready for anything.
It's not just about turning a wheel, is it?
No way you're responsible for a whole busload of people.
That's true.
So the training is serious business.
This author,
Yeah.
he had over 100 hours of training,
Wow.
learning everything from road signs to what to do in an emergency.
It's a real crash course in safety.
Literally,
Yeah.
he really emphasized defensive driving
Super important.
and situational awareness.
Absolutely.
It's like you need eyes everywhere. You have to predict what other drivers are going to do,
Mm-hmm.
what pedestrians are going to do,
Yeah.
even what the weather might throw your way.
You got all those things.
Wow.
Think about it. You're driving this huge vehicle
Yeah.
in all kinds of conditions,
Mhm.
surrounded by distracted drivers.
It's scary.
You need those skills to keep everyone safe.
It's a huge responsibility.
No doubt about it.
Okay, so get this.
Mhm.
His first bus, total clunker,
Oh, no.
all dirty.
Oh,
He even called it mechanically challenged in the book.
I can relate to that.
Not exactly a shiny new ride.
Nope.
What's it like starting out with a bus like that?
Well, it's a reality check for a lot of new drivers.
Yeah.
You don't always get the best bus right away.
I guess not.
It's about making the most of what you've got,
Right.
keeping it running smoothly and safely,
Right.
no matter what.
And this guy, he really took that to heart.
He did.
Oh, yeah. He spent hours cleaning this old bus.
Wow.
He even had to rig up this makeshift hose with pliers just to wash it.
Talk about dedication.
I know, right?
It's impressive.
He could have easily complained,
Oh, yeah.
but he chose to take pride in his work.
That says a lot about his character.
It does.
That's the kind of attitude that makes a good driver great.
And that resilience,
Mm-hmm.
it really comes through when he starts talking about his passengers,
Oh, the passenger.
especially the school bus crowd.
Oh, boy.
Remember those days?
Oh, I do.
Some of us have more vivid memories than others.
That's for sure the school bus.
Yeah.
It's like a little world all its own.
A microcosm of society.
Exactly, crammed into a few rows of seats.
You see it all right.
You see it all, the good, the bad, and the
Now,
hilarious.
this driver,
Yeah.
he definitely had his share of those hilarious moments.
Like what?
Graffiti incidents, fights breaking out,
Wait.
even a near accident when coolant spilled in the aisle.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a reality show on wheels.
And you're the director trying to keep everything under control.
Exactly.
That training on pupil management,
It really comes in handy.
especially when you're driving solo
It's tough.
without a monitor to help.
You gotta be on your toes.
Oh, and get this.
Okay.
He even had a pit bull chase kids onto his bus.
What? A pit bull?
Yeah, they were trying to escape it.
Oh, wow.
They ended up having to file an official incident report.
That's crazy talk about unexpected hazards.
Right.
You never know what each day will bring.
That's for sure.
Gotta be adaptable. Handle those curveballs with a cool head.
And it's those crazy stories that make this memoir so engaging.
It's true.
You feel like you're right there in the driver's seat.
Absolutely.
For anyone out there curious about what it's really like to be a bus driver, this book is a must-read.
Or must listen, I guess.
It gives you a front row seat.
It does.
Plus, it's free. Can't beat that.
Definitely not. This is a great opportunity.
Right.
See the world through a bus driver's eyes, to understand the challenges and the rewards.
Right.
He did have some strategies for keeping those rambunctious students in check.
Like what?
Well, he had clear rules, consistent enforcement,
Important.
and, the occasional strategically deployed candy reward.
Ah, the power of candy.
Works wonders, right?
Amazing what a little sweetness can do.
Now, I know all this talk about school bus shenanigans might be making some listeners nervous.
I bet.
But don't worry.
Okay.
The author's journey takes a turn.
It does.
For the, well, let's say, more adult.
Oh, okay.
He moves on to the world of charter buses.
Ah.
Charter buses.
And let me tell you, it's a whole different ballgame.
How so? Charter buses, it's like a whole new world.
He talks about this one trip
Okay.
where he had to drive across multiple states
Wow.
just to pick up a bus.
Seriously.
That's dedication, right?
That's commitment right there.
It makes you realize
Yeah.
there's so much more to this job than just sitting behind the wheel.
Absolutely.
There's logistics, plan.
Sometimes you have to think on your feet.
For sure, you got to be resourceful.
He even had this awesome story
Oh, yeah.
about driving a famous band for a parade.
No way.
Imagine that,
That's so cool.
being that close to rock and roll royalty.
Wow, what a perk of the job.
Right.
It's those little moments that make it all worthwhile.
It's like getting a glimpse into a whole different world.
Exactly. You meet interesting people.
And sometimes those interesting moments take an unexpected turn.
Oh, I bet. Tell me about it.
Okay, so he was driving this group up a mountain,
Okay.
but the road was too rough for his bus.
Oh, no.
So what did he do?
What?
He gave all the money in his wallet to a van driver
He did.
to take the passengers the rest of the way.
That's hilarious.
Talk about resourcefulness.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, right?
That's the bus driver motto, I guess.
I think so. Adapt, improvise, overcome.
And speaking of adventures,
Yeah.
his journey takes another unexpected turn.
Okay. Where to this time?
He ends up driving for you. Ready for this?
Hit me.
A correctional facility.
Full circle moment, huh?
All right.
The job he wanted before he even started driving.
It's funny how life works out.
Isn't it? Like it was meant to be.
He talks about those initial anxieties,
Yeah.
navigating a whole new set of rules.
Right. A different environment.
Different type of passenger interaction.
For sure, I can relate to that.
It's fascinating
What is?
how he connects his experiences in corrections
Yeah.
to bus driving.
Interesting.
Both involve managing people,
True.
often in stressful situations,
Definitely.
being responsible for their safety.
Big responsibility.
And he's very honest in the memoir
About what?
about the toll this work can take,
Oh, yeah.
physically and mentally.
It's tough.
The long hours, the often low pay,
Yeah.
the constant pressure to be alert and in control.
It wears on you.
It's not a job for everyone.
Definitely not.
He even talks about how he noticed a lot of drivers had bad teeth.
Really?
He thought it was because of the stress of the job
Makes sense.
and maybe not having access to good dental care.
Yeah. It's a tough job.
Makes you think
About what?
about how we treat essential workers.
Yeah, we often take them for granted.
They get us where we need to go,
Safely.
but we don't always think about what they go through.
It's true. We should appreciate them more.
Okay, before we move on,
all right.
I wanted to touch on something else he mentioned.
Okay. What's that?
The sense of camaraderie among bus drivers,
Oh, yeah. That's a real thing.
like a special bond.
Absolutely.
You go through these shared experiences, you face the same challenges,
You rely on each other.
you look out for each other.
It's a community.
He tells this great story
Okay, I'm listening.
about how experienced drivers would help out the newbies,
Yeah.
give them tips on handling a tricky route
That's great.
or dealing with a difficult passenger.
It's all about passing down that knowledge.
Exactly.
It's like a mentorship.
It's really cool to see.
Yeah.
Even in a job that can feel isolating, there's this support system.
You're never really alone out there.
It's inspiring.
It is. It reminds me that
Yeah.
we can all learn from each other.
Absolutely, no matter what we do.
Yeah.
So we've really gotten a glimpse into the life of a bus driver with this memoir.
We have. It's been quite a ride.
From those early days, cleaning that old bus,
Yeah.
to handling those school bus shenanigans,
Oh, yeah.
to hitting the open road with charter trips.
It's given us a real look behind the curtain.
And back at the start of this deep dive, you mentioned you were thinking about bus driving as a career.
I did.
What are your thoughts now?
That's a good question.
Has hearing all this made you even more interested?
It's definitely given me a lot to think about.
I bet.
There's a lot to consider.
For sure. This memoir, it doesn't sugarcoat anything.
No, it doesn't.
It shows the good and the bad.
The long hours, the low pay.
The demanding passengers.
The stress.
It's a realistic picture.
It is, but it also shows the heart of the job.
That's true.
That sense of purpose.
Yeah.
Connecting people, getting them where they need to go safely.
The camaraderie.
The unexpected adventures.
It's a unique profession.
It is.
He even has a whole section with advice for passengers.
Interesting. What kind of advice?
Things he wishes everyone knew.
Like what?
Like how a simple thank you.
Yeah.
Or even just a smile.
A little kindness goes a long way.
It can make a big difference.
It can, especially for someone who deals with so much every day.
Exactly. It's about remembering that bus drivers are people too.
Right. They're not just robots behind the wheel.
They have lives. They have families.
They have good days and bad days.
So as we wrap up our deep dive, I want to leave you with this.
Okay.
Next time you're on a bus,
take a moment to think about the driver.
That's a good reminder.
Think about the training they went through, the responsibilities they carry,
the challenges they face,
the stories they could tell.
It's a whole world we don't often see.
And remember, this whole deep dive was inspired by a free audiobook.
That's pretty cool.
It's amazing that this driver shared his experiences.
I agree. It really opens your eyes.
So if you're even a little bit curious, I encourage you to check it out.
It's definitely worth a listen.
It's a funny, insightful, and heartwarming story.
It sounds like it.
Who knows? Maybe it'll even inspire you to become a bus driver yourself.
You never know. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
And until next time, safe travels.